In fact, Gita says, Samatam Yoga Uchyate, which means yoga is Sam means equanimous. Yoga is a state of balance.
Oh, yes.
And finding this state of balance, I think that is what life is, right? Like you said, there are ups and downs, and there are times when you feel really defeated. There are times when you are full of, pride and things like that. And how to find a balance even when things are not going your way.
Hello everyone, my name is Pranav Vashistha and this is the Gut Feel Show, a podcast on mental well-being, where we invite guests from all walks of life and we discuss different aspects of well-being in their profession and in their life. Our today's guest is a yoga teacher, Shani, and we discussed with her all the aspects of yoga, what is the philosophy of yoga, how old is it, and the differences in different types of training like gym and yoga. What is strength? What is flexibility? A lot of insights from a yoga teacher herself. Please keep watching till the end and subscribe us for more such interesting content. Welcome to the Gut Feel Show, Shani. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Pranav, and thank you so much for inviting me here. I feel great, and already talking to you feels
amazing. It is a pleasure.
Yeah.
It is. I really admire the power of yoga. So I'll begin straight up with that. How did your journey in yoga begin? Tell us about that.
Okay, so I started out my career as an architect. So once I finished my architecture degree, and I started working with an architecture firm here in Delhi.
Okay.
And when that began, then this body started to give up, kind of, because it is a desk job, it is a strenuous job with a lot of stress, with a lot of deadlines. And that's when I started to pay attention a little bit, have to do something. And I started watching YouTube videos. I won't lie, I did start watching YouTube videos to practice yoga. But slowly and slowly I just got like really attached to the practice, and I wanted to get to know more about the yoga philosophy, not just the asana practice. And that's when I decided to do my first training in yoga.
So that is where your curiosity about yoga began, and the seed was sown. So
Yeah. In fact, the first book, Light on Yoga by B.K. Aiyenger. So I remember reading the first few pages, and I'm like, he's talking not about asana at all. Like, he's talking about yoga and what yoga means.
Yes.
Union. And that just like opened this different window, like I realized, wow, this is so much more than what I thought.
Yes.
So that's actually
plus there are different forms of yoga with different impacts on the body. Like I remember Iyengar yoga is used in a lot of therapy and rehab for so if there is some injury, it was designed for that basically.
Correct. So his method was a lot about therapeutic effects of yoga, and he used a lot of props and things like that, which is not generally or used in yoga in other forms of yoga, but yeah, he did. So that's why Iyengar yoga, I feel, is a very it's a practice which is suitable for all age groups as well as all body types. So it's extremely therapeutic.
It is very flexible. I think it adapts the body type, and there are different. It is doable. It is not that difficult.
Yes.
So Shani, what practice are you doing these days, and what tell us more about your practice?
Okay, so when I started, like I told you, I started mostly with the asana practice, and I was very like attracted to the asana practice, and I started to practice Ashtanga yoga.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I
that's
actually
Ashtangi.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So that's when I began, and when I started to understand it more, the practice, and did a couple of more courses, got in touch with some amazing teachers. That's when slowly now I feel my practice is a balance between Hatha yoga, so traditional Hatha yoga, which is more mindful practice. I feel like for me, like it brings a balance and stability, and on a few days I balance it with my Ashtanga yoga practice. So I would say that is my practice these days. But even on days when I'm not able to do asana practice, something which has become really consistent is my pranayama and meditation practice.
Wow.
Something which I now give a lot of importance to in my own routine.
So tell me something, Shani, what is the impact of yoga, and how do you can you elaborate about the impact and how much time does it take? Because a lot of times people leave the practice or drop out of it because they think the impact is not coming, it is slow. Tell us more about the impact.
See, definitely, yoga is not like a pill that you take
Yes.
and it just like gives you some effects, immediately. But we need to understand that yoga works on energetic levels.
Yes.
It's not working on the physical body. According to yogic philosophy, we have 5 different layers of body. And Annamaya Kosh, which is the physical body, is the outermost layer, which is affected by Pranamaya Kosh, which is the energetic body, and the Manomaya Kosh, which is the mental body.
Oh.
Then Vijnanamaya Kosh, which is the intelligent body, which is even deeper. And then comes Anandamaya Kosh, which is the blissful body. And our journey of yoga is taking our awareness from the physical body to the, which is Annamaya Kosh, to Anandamaya Kosh, the blissful body.
Oh.
So finding peace wherever
That is
you
why
are.
they say that yoga is an inward journey.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is the reason for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So most of the time, actually, if we look, whatever our goals are, whatever we're trying to do in our lives, it's mostly external, it's mostly physical, right? And these yogis, these saints, they realize that there is suffering in the world, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad. Our emotions, our thoughts are constantly being affected by physical world. So how do we find this peace? How do we find peace which is not affected by anything else?
Yeah.
And that is how this whole process began, like I feel it's a very deep science
Yeah.
dealing with mind, body and soul.
And it is ancient. It dates very long back in time.
Yeah.
And I personally feel when I started yoga in 2018, Ashtanga yoga, it was transformative for me. I never felt that I would be able to do these asanas that I saw other people doing in the practice. Because I was unfit at that moment. But later when I got into the practice and I dedicated to it, one thing that I realized was that it gets you to a balance. Yoga, why they say yoga is all about balance is because I felt that most of the time life is like a sine wave.
Yeah.
It goes up and down.
Absolutely.
But the in the time space that you're doing yoga, you can achieve that balance.
Absolutely.
Where there's no up, no down. And that is the takeaway from yoga, which if you start implementing in your life, then the life can also change. So maybe yoga is a way of life, I believe.
Absolutely. So, in fact, Gita says, Samatam yoga uchyate, which means yoga is, sama means equanimous. Yoga is a state of balance.
Oh, yes.
And finding this state of balance, I think that is what life is, right? Like you said, there are ups and downs, and there are times when you feel really defeated. There are times when you are full of pride and things like that, and how to find a balance even when things are not going your way.
Yes.
Or keep your calm even when things are really going good for you. I think balance in both the extremes is extremely important.
And I think that is what you experience while you practice also, because you cannot do the asanas if you are not focused and balancing in that asana. You'll fall out of it.
Exactly.
So it by default with every breath is teaching you balance.
Absolutely. In fact, I read this definition of asana, which just absolutely describes what you are saying. Asana is a balance between finding stability inside yet staying calm.
Yes.
So extreme of anything, generally strength comes with ego. Any kind of strength comes with ego.
Yeah.
So either you have a lot of strength, or the person is lazy, or the mind is restless. Either of these, extreme of this is not one needs or one wants to follow a path of yoga or do anything in life, right? Like let's say you're starting some new work, some new job, and or you have a new, you're working in office, you have some new task to attend to. You will not sit on a couch and do that, because that will make you feel lazy. Mind will keep going here and there. You will not stand also and do it, because then it will be too strenuous for you. Physically, you're not comfortable. Asana is a practice, is not just a physical posture, but a state of mind where you are stable, focused, and yet calm and relaxed. So while we are practicing yoga on the mat also, whether you're doing asana, pranayama, whatever, it's always teaching you to come back into that state of balance. Find that fine line of balance. And slowly, the more you practice, the more you realize that it reflects in your life also. you begin to find clarity in a lot of things that you do in your life.
Because it is giving you this philosophy through the practice
Yeah,
that life is all about balance.
absolutely.
When there is anger, there is also peace. And so there are contrasting emotions in life.
Yeah.
You need to learn to be somewhere in between.
Equanimous in
Yeah,
these situations.
yes.
You know, like I always try to teach this in my class, that no matter how difficult or easy an asana becomes, you look at it in an equanimous state of mind. Your mental sthiti, your state of mind should be equanimous towards it. So sometimes what happens when there are difficult situations, which we react in a very extreme manner, something which makes us angry, we suddenly pop up and get angry because we are not observing it.
Yeah.
We don't have a practice which is holding us, keeping us calm.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're practicing, and like you said, it's not something which is giving you quick results.
Yes.
You have to practice it. It is a practice, and it's not going to be perfect in the first time.
Yeah.
It is a practice, which means it's teaching you every single time you step on the mat.
It is a slow process.
It is a process.
But it grows on you, and then you
Of
just
course.
get into it.
Of course. And the effects are not just physical, they are way
Yeah. I think you can only know it once you do it.
Yeah,
Anyone
absolutely.
can keep on telling you, but you can only know it when
Yeah,
you do it.
yeah.
Shani, tell me something. I think a lot of changes in the East and the West I want to discuss. Like we started learning the gym culture from the West, and they started learning the yoga culture from us. And these equations have completely shifted. Like the country which was known for yoga is now going to the gym,
Yeah.
and the country which started the gym culture is now promoting yoga. What do you say on that? What is happening? What is the future of yoga?
See, I definitely West has popularized yoga. There is glamorization of yoga as well, and they have definitely commercialized also
Yes.
way better than us.
Yes.
Uh,
They've started speaking Sanskrit. A lot
Yeah.
of them, yes.
Yeah, so when I travel and I meet a lot of practitioners from outside India, it really makes my heart full to see that everyone is understanding the power of yoga,
Yeah.
because it is so powerful.
Yes.
It can embrace everyone. It
Yeah.
has something for everyone. So it is beautiful to see that. Though a lot of people do tell me that, I don't know, how authentic the practice is. Many people are understanding that they need to practice authentically.
Yes.
And some people, it's just like glamorization. But I just feel whatever little bit you can take out of yoga, if it's helping you, then do that also.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 0.1%. So that's absolutely fine. Talking about the gym culture in India,
What I mean to say about the gym culture, I'll re-elaborate.
Yeah.
The thing is that a lot of people are going into it without awareness. They don't know that what strength is, what flexibility
Yeah.
is. Most of the time, they end up working only on strength.
Yeah.
They lose flexibility, then they get into injuries.
Yeah.
They lose out the balance of their body completely. Then they get into taking things that are promoted in the gym. So rather than taking natural things, they're getting into more artificial things and being only on the one side of the plank. While yoga teaches you to balance flexibility and strength with most of the asanas,
Correct.
but a lot of people, a lot of young generation is getting into just building strength. So what is your opinion on this contrast of two forms of workout?
See, I really feel that these two can't be compared.
Okay.
Because it depends on your goals.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if somebody's goal is to build big muscles for legs, go to gym.
Yeah.
Because definitely with yoga, it'll take a lot of time, effort, and I don't know whether what your goal is can be achieved or not. So depending on what your goal is, you decide for yourself. Like I already said, that yoga is not just physical, it's so much more. So maybe you go to gym and maybe you take some parts of yoga. For example, pranayama is in your daily practice. Then that's great, See, gym definitely has multiple benefits. It's giving you strength.
Yeah.
If you're doing it properly, a lot of trainers now understand that mobility is extremely important.
Yeah.
Mind-body
You need proper
coordination.
guidance with the
Proper
gym.
guidance,
Otherwise, you might go in the wrong form.
Absolutely.
Of bodybuilding.
Injuries are very common in the
Yes.
gym.
A lot of heart attacks are happening. A lot of things
Yeah.
are happening at the gym because either they are not in the right guidance or
Correct.
just too focused on a goal because of which they are neglecting something.
Right.
It is like that.
Right.
Maybe.
Or these days, trendy things.
Yeah.
A lot of people do things because it's a trend.
Yeah.
In gymming, whether it's food or diet or whatever, like you said, going for supplements or something which is not natural, and just doing things like that. But I think it's important to understand your goal, to finally decide for yourself. And I used to go to gym as well, and I used to balance it out. I was going to gym 2-3 times in a week, and then other days I was
So that is
doing,
where you're balancing strength and flexibility.
yeah. But now I realize that maybe my goal is not to go to gym, and I only focus on yoga. So I just feel that we are no one to judge.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
about judgment.
I think it is about, again, in both forms of practice, it is about awareness.
It is
Gym also with awareness. There are fitness
Multiple
coaches who
benefits.
know that you can
Yeah.
only not keep on working on the one muscle. You have to balance other muscles, and you
Yeah.
have to. So they approach it very logically.
Logically, systematically.
Yeah, systematically. I think that is again needed in the gym culture,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
the young generation, the youth which is getting into fitness, which is amazing now, they should find that awareness either online or through reading something or whatever they can,
Yeah.
to understand that what is that form of workout doing to them
Doing
in
to them.
return.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think good guidance is important, whether it's in yoga also. It's
I
very,
think
very important.
that is important.
Or in gym. So whatever you do, good guidance, clear goals, clear what you want exactly. I think all that is important. And if it's working for you, if it's really helping you with your goal, then continue.
And Shani, what do you think about diet? Like, what is, have you changed something in your diet when you started yoga practice? And do you have any suggestions or advice for people to incorporate? Because people look out for protein diets,
Yeah.
they look for balanced diet, fiber. So, what are you using?
So I won't lie, I have experimented with a lot of things.
Okay, that is okay. I think that is the way.
Yeah, and I think like people who know me, or even my students, or people who have seen me through all these years, must have seen this change happening in me. I see it as well, like what I was doing before, then in the middle, and what I do now. Experimented with diet a lot.
Okay.
All these trendy smoothies and things like that. And then I realized that slowly and slowly that it's not really helping me. And now my usual funda is, and I generally give this advice to whoever is asking for it, that just go to the roots, go to the basics. The knowledge that has passed down to us through these generations and generations, in the texts or even in your family,
Yes.
that is very deep. It's deeply rooted, and it's rooted to your body type and to the environment where we are living
Plus,
in.
your DNA is used to it. We
Our DNA
we
is
don't
used
know
to
that, but our DNA is used to what our ancestors were eating.
Exactly. According to the temperature and the local food and
Yes.
all of that. So just go to basics. And you will be happy, your body will be happy. My body is the happiest over all these years now.
Amazing.
After going back to basics.
I even did a very similar thing. I tried, before yoga, I tried gym, I tried protein powders, then I went to yoga, then I tried all these smoothies. And then I later on came onto these things which we have been eating for a very long time.
Yeah.
Now I make a normal banana shake with sattu. And I consider that as my protein powder.
Yeah.
I have a lot of mushrooms, and then I have besan, chila, and all these things. So I think there are a lot of these things that our ancestors have been eating, which is already enough for your body to have a different type of nutrients. So
Absolutely.
I think that is something that you have very nicely said. I think we should go back to the roots.
Yeah.
That is very important. And yoga is already coming from our roots. It dates back so long that the culture is so old. Gym is something very new, but yoga has a history.
Absolutely. And it's tested through time and
It
time
is,
again, and it's
is.
been there. In fact, the first yogi, Adi Yogi, is more than 15,000 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's coming down from there. And even like the systematic texts are like thousands of years old. So, the knowledge is there. I just feel that, if you are woke enough to understand your body, mind, and soul completely, to listen to yourself, then you do that.
Yeah.
If you can't, if you find a little bit imbalance, then go back to the text. Go back to the information that is coming down to us.
Yeah.
because I'm not woken up, so I'm doing that.
Okay.
Just go back to the
I
basics.
think that is a good way, because you find your way with experimenting, and then you realize this is also very big awareness that you're speaking about, that this is my type and I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm learning through the text.
Yeah.
So that is great. And Shani, tell me something about like in the yoga, what do you think is the impact in terms of people who have 9 to 5 job? Because a lot of times, in even in COVID, the issue of cervical and a lot of these things had gone to a peak. A lot of these things started happening because we started working on laptops while we are lying on bed, while we are not having right postures. So are there any things that you recommend for the, because the young population right now, 90% of them are using laptops or mobile. So what is the advice for them to incorporate a few things in their daily life which can help them not go to an extreme state ki they have to now lie on bed or go for physiotherapy, something that they can do on a daily basis?
Yeah. So actually, I get this question a lot because I do have a lot of students clients who, have 9 to 5 jobs and a lot of time spent on laptop. So I just say that, see, just 3 hours or 4 hours, or let's say 5, even if you're doing like every day of yoga, like 5 hours of yoga in 24/7 into 7 hours, that is the whole week. That's not enough. If you are doing something your whole day, let's say sitting in one posture the whole day, the body will remember this more than what you did in the morning,
correct.
right? So it's very important to take breaks, not just physically, stand, stretch out, very, very simple asanas, just stretch. Your lower body becomes very immobile when you're sitting on your chair. So just move around, maybe go up on your toes and down a couple of times, do Tadasana or couple of those kind of, stretches. You can do some stretches for the shoulders. Even sitting on the chair, you can very, very simple ones. And if you have done any yoga class, you will know very simple stretches. But it's very important to do them multiple times in the day.
Okay.
And not just physical asanas. I would say, like, more important than that, I say that sit back and close your eyes and just focus on the breath. Because being mindful, coming back to yourself is also very, very important.
Yeah.
Because in your day, you're doing things which are constantly taking your awareness outside. So just come back, reconnect to yourself, and then approach the work that you're doing. It'll give you clarity in your work and better productivity in the work also. So it's very important. So, like, let's say if you divide the day in 4 parts, you can practice once in the morning. If you have like full time to do 1 hour practice, great, do that. Then one time before lunch, so when the stomach is relatively empty, you can do simple pranayama practice. Simple watch your breath, or stand, stretch it out, or do some standing asanas. And then once in the evening you can do, which is like around 5. So you had your lunch, let's say at 2 p.m. So your 2-3 hours have gone by. You can do then. And then once in the night. Now, I won't say like go full-fledged practice of yoga in the night. That's not recommended. But simple stretches, just sitting on the bed, just to unwind, stretch, release all that tension. So very simple things to keep the musculoskeletal balance in the body, and also, stay connected to yourself, because, that's the ultimate goal of yoga, to connect.
We'll put some clips of these things that you have mentioned,
Yeah.
That people can see and use in their daily life. Some of that.
Absolutely.
And Shani, I want to really discuss the recent retreat that you have hosted in Bali. Tell us more about that.
Okay.
How was it, and how was it meeting Krishna Das?
So the retreat is actually was Bhakti Fest. It was first time hosted in Bali. Generally, it's in Joshua, California.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were hosting it first time in Bali this time. And I was facilitating the yoga sessions. And there was Krishna Das and Neena Rao, and meeting all of these people. So,
Wow.
Yeah, it was such an amazing experience. Like, I frankly don't have words to describe like how fulfilling, like soul-filling, I call it.
Yeah.
Soul-filling it was.
I can only imagine, because I listen, me and my son, we both listen to Krishna Das 2-3 times a day. Different, his bhajans are just, they're so engaging, and you just love listening to him.
Yeah, very powerful. And, so we used to have 1 or sometimes 2 sessions in a day. And it was really lovely, not just listening to his bhajans, but also his stories in the middle. He would always go back and tell us his experience, and that would, help us to connect with him as a person also, because, we understand that everyone is going through ups and downs in their lives. And
Absolutely.
there are times when you feel very lost. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You wake up and you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And those kind of gave an insight, and you just realize that you're not alone. Everyone is dealing with their own things, and it's just the practice which kind of like holds you together.
Yeah.
I just say that practice is my solace. It has really become my solace.
I think it is also about expressing it, because when this happened, everyone felt through expression that it is common in everyone's life. Otherwise, we most of the time keep on holding these emotions or these phases of life. So we feel lonely in our spaces that सिर्फ मेरे साथ ही हो रहा है क्या ये?
And trust me, when we go in places like these retreats, there is so much sharing, I think the biggest takeaway was, I remember telling somebody after one of the sessions that you really feel that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Things are happening everywhere to everyone. Everyone is trying their best to come out of it. Everyone is naturally and trying their best to heal themselves. And you just know that you're not alone, which is a very, it's a very big support.
See, all these texts, old texts keep on telling us, and I think what you are telling me also about this retreat, I can feel that this experience is about unity, that we all are one. It is some percentage of experience that the texts have told us, the Buddhism talks about, that I am in everyone and you are everyone. It is about that unity, that you feel connected.
You feel connected.
And the moment people feel connected, they become more humane, more sort of calm down, sensitive, and life looks good after these kind of experiences.
No, that's absolutely true. It was a soul enriching experience.
Wow. And how long was this retreat?
So it was from the 11th to the 18th of November, 7 days.
Wow, superb. I will definitely keep in touch and look for these retreat next time. I would love to come for these.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Shani. It was amazing talking to you.
Thank you so much, Pranav. It was lovely talking to you. It is such an honor, frankly. And generally, I think yoga has... I just say it out loud. It is my passion. It is my passion. Like, I loved architecture. I still enjoy designing. I still do, a little bit here and there. But this has just taken over my life, and I feel grateful. I really feel grateful to be here, to be able to learn all of this and practice all of this, and to my best of my capacity, give it to people, how much ever I can, how much ever I understand. So I really feel grateful to be in this position, and thank you so much, Pranav.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching till the end. Please comment करके हमें बताइए कि आपको ये पॉडकास्ट कैसा लगा और आप किस टॉपिक पे बातें करना चाहेंगे या सुनना चाहेंगे हमसे. हम उन लोगों को अपने शो पर लेकर आएंगे एंड मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में इन डेप्थ डिस्कशन करेंगे. Please like, subscribe and share with at least one person, because your share can help that person improve their mental health. Thank you so much.